I wanted to do like a red string scene to try to connect dots. Originally I had said me and Dale, but I think like a group scene would be a good idea for this, so everyone can kind of.
Absolutely. I've handed you a lot of pieces in a very short order here, so.
And I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
Putting together the puzzle.
Okay. I don't think it's necessarily all there for everyone to get everything right now. I have a few more blocks to knock down, and then I think the picture will be very clear. But I don't think I'm going to do that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so things seem to be linked. At least parts of our larger issues. Far as I can tell right now, there's a few major players we are going to have to deal with.
I'll take the minutes, says Jerry.
Jerry, please don't, publish directly these minutes to your podcast. This is like a confidential type meeting.
You're a listener?
Yes, I'm a listener. Are you joking?
I
Jerry,
gotta talk about this on the podcast.
God
Jerry,
damn
you're my number 2 on Spotify Wrapped.
I am honored.
Number 1 is Ira Glass. I sure do love that Ira Glass.
Sorry I called you Doyle.
All right. That's all right. I thought it was like an intentional, you were trying to keep our identities confidential kind of thing.
I forgot that that's what I was doing.
So anyway, our big bads. Who are we? Who do we got to fight? Who are our big bosses?
Right now, there's 3 parties that I can see in the overall. Gravewatch, vampires, fae. These are things that just keep popping up no matter where we look. And that's not to say Gravewatch is necessarily evil, but right now they are working for someone who is Mezcal.
Evil? Yeah.
Yeah.
They are certainly adversarial.
But these 3 parties keep popping up everywhere we look. Does anybody have anything to add?
I was just having a stimulating conversation with my sister. And I don't know too much about these Fae type folk. They're sort of outside my wheelhouse. But she said apparently it's possible they might have come from spellcasters. Like people type spellcasters. Just get a certain level of power or something. Visit that Fae world.
I guess that pares things down a little bit. It's kind of, So at the end of the day, there still are 2 sort of base species. Humans, monsters. And everything branches out from there.
Seems to be.
Suppose so.
So fair, human, not monster? Or the evolution of human?
Like ascended human?
I feel
if you think about it, monsters come from somewhere else and then come here. Maybe fair what happens when humans go somewhere else.
That's a cool way to think of it.
It is.
Apparently Greyloss is particularly old and or the original. So we are going toe-to-toe with a big hitter.
Greyloss is specifically linked to...
I think that was the stained glass one with Quincy.
Ah, good point. And Lucas presses play on an old tape recorder, and after a few seconds, the tape seems to burn up into magic. And they're locked in the bathroom for an hour.
Now, Quincy, he or they were the one who kicked your ass, Dale?
I wouldn't say kicked my ass.
I wouldn't say kick his ass. You know.
I'd say
I-
sucker punch.
It
Hand
felt
it
to
in his
me
ass.
like they were like, when you're making a tough choice and it's like you're in the high school movie and it's like the two girls and you like have to say something mean to one of them to prove to the other one that you actually like them. Like, I don't think Quincy actually like meant it when they hit me. I think it was just like showing Greyloss how committed they are. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't. Sure, yeah. If that's how it happened, I wasn't there. I was hunting vampires.
Whistler, because this is exactly what's happening right now, you may roll connect the dots and
Yeah.
then expend it over the course of this conversation.
Hell yeah.
Hey, while we're doing this, actually, can I roll Dark
What?
Past?
Damn it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like anything that might jog your memory.
I'm rolling like dog shit tonight. That's a 6.
Does someone want to help out? You're having a group conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys already are just by like presenting
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Bring you up. You're good. You have what, 1 or 2 questions?
Oh, hold one.
So yeah, I guess save that for when you feel like you are hitting a roadblock.
I got an 8 because it's plus weird instead of plus smarts, which is a shame. I am going to ask, do I know anyone who might be behind this? Because I feel like what we're really trying to figure out is how are these guys all connected, and if there is a person behind it, maybe I know of them.
Yeah. I think I'll give you the information kind of internally.
Sure.
Just based on what you're talking about here, and like this is maybe more of a power projection thing, because there's no one like from the tenders of the field. There's no like, as far as you know, like human agent outside of this group that's doing this. It strikes you pretty quickly that there's only one character that's been kind of removed enough that they can operate in a bunch of different groups, but powerful enough that they can safely do so. And that has to be the stained glass figure. That they are fully in charge and are engaging with other people of great power to get something as a collective done that everyone in the group agrees with.
Okay, so
And you know that their ideals or their purview is indulgence and ambition.
yeah, guys, just kind of looking at this big picture, it kind of feels like y'all ever watch like superhero cartoons?
Yeah.
Of course.
It kind of feels like the League of Evil. Where like Lex Luthor is big enough and powerful enough that he can kind of pull other baddies from different areas. This one fights the Flash, and this one fights Batman, and this one fights Aquaman, and Luthor is the one who's like powerful enough to say, hey, even though we all have these separate ambitions, what if we all come together and make them overlap? And I think the Venn diagram dude at the center of this, who's like big enough, who kind of, if a donut has a circle, he's like the munchkin that can fill the hole, is the stained glass guy.
Have I misspoken? I apologize. Greylace is a woman.
Oh, okay.
She's that bald lady from
Yeah.
the auditor. Yeah.
She's the one who's kind of at the center of this, and I think she's pulling the strings here.
All right. Before we commit to this, I just need to ask this question, just for my own sanity. Is it because they're both bald? Lex Luthor and Greyloss?
That's probably connected. I think that's probably integral to her actions.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Quantity of hair is proportionate to moral quality.
Well, I am balding,
seems mean.
and I'm pretty evil, so that checks out.
Okay, so
You
we
can have any
think
hair you want.
we
Just want to
think
get ahead of it for my podcast.
Yeah. I thought we agreed this is not podcast content.
Damn it.
Jerry, this is totally podcast content. You're good, buddy.
Anyways,
so. We've got these three factions. We believe Greyloss is the one pulling all the strings.
what are they all individually working on? Maybe it's a better way to frame it.
Maskell and Gravewatch are trying to reverse monsterhood, trying to get some serum,
Okay.
at least ostensibly.
What's Hugh want? How do they fit into all this?
Who?
Q? Quincy?
Oh, Quincy.
Quincy just wanted to escape to the Fey Realm, far as I could tell.
I think they had like selfish interests outside of Greyloss's master plan.
What was the other Fey Lord working on?
Oh, they're the
Industrialization.
they're the Lord
Dream
of
Machine, no.
Artifice.
What does it do?
Fuck if I know, to be completely honest.
I didn't get inside it. I was hanging out with Dale.
Oh.
Two dudes hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, that's how I remember that as well.
It seemed to be some sort of it was interacting with something from somewhere else, causing people to exist in... It almost felt like a virtual reality demi-plane.
Mm.
I think it was supposed to shift reality based on what was run in the simulation, if I recall correctly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's been a while, yeah? Oh.
Yeah, that sounds right. To what end? Like, what were they going to get out of it? Or, like, what would a user get out of it?
I mean, anything they wanted, but they were just running us through a game show.
Okay.
Well, I think that Petey's goal probably has less scope than whatever it is that Greyloss wants. I mean, by definition, Greyloss's ambitions have to be the greatest, right? I mean, if Petey just wants to use the machine to make money, I'm imagining that Greyloss wants to use it for more interesting ends. Reshape the world.
And then
And they were utilizing it to feed a vampire. At the time, the vampire was, I believe, going to get free food out of the emotional distress that people stuck in the game show were going to go through.
I'm unsure about how vampires really fit into this whole overarching thing.
As am I.
Which
Yeah.
makes me think that maybe as a faction, they're not actually a key component?
Could be.
I
Damn it,
mean,
Jerry.
if there's someone behind Greyloss, it's probably Saint Nicholas.
Okay.
I would
Oh,
like
so-
to use
Power-
one of
if there's a
my...
power
my
behind
one
the
hold-
power.
Yeah. The first ever magic user. Santa Claus. Who's to say?
I would like to use my one hold.
Oh, yes.
Which is, what does this monster want from this person? Can I do, what does Greyloss want from Petey?
Absolutely. I think this is a pretty quick dot to connect for you. If what PD's creating, the Dream Machine, can let you shape the reality in front of you to whatever you like it, as long as the system is working correctly, and Greyloss's purview is indulgence, then that means that if they could mass produce this thing, could get anyone to sit in this box and dream of everything they've ever wanted for the rest of their life. The most indulgent thing you could ever do is never talk to someone again. And just sit there and dream.
So they just want to.
That's what they want from PD.
Oh, they want.
This is what they want from PT.
From PD, not for PD. So they just want to give every person in the world a dream machine, have them sit down in a vegetal state, basically on the holodeck.
Basically.
Do we know if that makes him more, or if that makes her more powerful, or if that's just like in the same way that Whistler's driven to do certain things? They're just driven to want more indulgence.
I think.
For instance, did they seem to grow in power at all at the roller coaster park when people were under an indulgent charm?
I think the best you can gather is probably not. That this is maybe a personal choice they make.
Got you. Not going.
Oh, sorry, you go, Dell.
I was just gonna say, and then I know they were using that to test on Grave Watch members, or at least one. Correct.
If I recall from your testimony.
Now, was this to subdue that person? Like, what did Maskell get out of that partnership? Was it just the ability to subdue somebody so he could run these tests? Or was there something else Maskell was getting from this partnership with PD and the Dream Machine?
I can't answer that.
Would someone like to investigate a mystery?
I can look into it. I would like to use Cast the Bones.
What does that
And
Ooh.
Cast the Bones.
Cast them bones.
Once per mystery, you may perform some sort of divination about to glean information about the future. When you about the future specifically, damn.
With new information from Brittany, I mean, are we capable of just investigating a mystery?
Sure. I think I will allow one, maybe two of those as the breadth of what you can glean.
That's
I have advanced investigate a mystery if someone wants to help me out.
Let's see what you roll first. Just in case.
8.
I'll try to help.
Get in there first. I'm not very cool.
Only an 8, but
That brings me up to a 9.
And that's a 9 from Whistler on help out.
Brings me up to a 10. So
Ask me 2 questions. No stacking.
questions. Yeah.
Isn't Danny also capable of the stacking? Advanced investigative mystery?
I haven't chosen my advanced
Oh,
moves yet. I'm still kind of on the fence for what I want.
Fair enough.
I think this is a what was it going to do situation, or what is being concealed here. I'll use both of them.
Okay. What is the overarching question you're trying to get out of this? What is Maskell? What was it?
What was Maskell and Petey working together to do? I believe was what we were looking for.
yeah, I
Okay.
think that's-
So what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here would work perfect for that.
Sure. So for the most part, it seems like at least Maskell's plan in the formula doesn't actually make them like fully human. If you recall, Mark was able to eke out in the end of last game that his goal was not that. The words he said was live forever. So if you combined their 2 powers, you would have people that live forever stuck in this dream machine, never leaving, never dying, never needing to eat, never breathing, just living a blissful existence ignorant of everything else around them. Where you might ask the question, what's more important, truth or happiness? But at the very least, you can kind of assume that Maskell's only real goal serves only Gravewatch. Like that he probably only cares about his people.
So we need to figure out what our next move should be. Maybe not our next immediate move, but a course of action.
The one woman who was like a new recruit for The Wire, she did communicate to us that Adam McIntyre is like kidnapped, right?
That's what they're saying. Yeah,
I
there was
mean-
like a notice sent out that he was captured.
I think Whistler just kind of looks too down. It's like, don't you want to try to like save your father? I kind of assumed that would just be the next course of action.
That's not a bad plan.
That's almost certainly like a trap, man.
Yeah.
Trap or not, they have information that we're going to need.
If they...
I mean, Mark was a trap.
Yeah, but that was when they were still willing to conceal their hand. Now they've played it. They've got nothing left to conceal. If they took Adam alive, then they're gonna want him alive. And I don't see them putting that in danger anytime soon. They would lose all their leverage. Right now, the Hornet's Nest's just been kicked. I think we try to go right back in there now. They're all gonna be geared up. They're gonna be fired up. They're gonna be ready to fight. If we really want to get Adam, or my dad, or whatever he is now, if we want to get him back, I think our only chance is with an element of surprise. Besides that, we got to find him first, too. That's
Finding
gonna
him,
take time.
we can do.
I was
At least
thinking,
I can try.
how hard might it be, Lucas or Whistler, for one of y'all to get me a map of all the post-Civil War period telegraph wires in the United States?
I mean, weird request, but I am almost certain it exists in some historical preservation
Yeah.
society.
I mean, Google.
reason-
That's a pretty easy one.
The reason we call the Wire is because they don't trust any of this new cloud services. They don't trust phones for their really important communications. For the actual important stuff, they only communicate via telegraph wires. If we can tap into those, find out some way to intercept their messages, we'd be having a live pulse on what the Grave Watch is up to at any given time.
Okay, that seems doable. So if our next move isn't to go after your dad, then
Maybe one of the other enemies?
What is PD now? What is... I mean, did we defeat PD? Is PD still a threat?
I think he is. I mean, he's, and if I recall correctly, not actually the Fey Lord themselves, but an avatar of the Fey Lord, effectively.
yeah.
So
we defeated him.
he's sort of a appendage of a greater problem. As much as I would love to defeat PD, I think really what's more important is to defeat, or destroy the Dream Machine, I suppose.
Wasn't the Dream Machine sentient?
I guess get to the
Huge
point.
if true.
I mean, then, yeah, if we could find a way to, like, reason with the Dream Machine.
At the very least, free it.
Huh. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that plan. That sounds very interesting.
Do we need to go to the Fate World?
I mean, I don't think that should be our next step. That
Yeah.
should probably be our last
Where this
step.
universe's gods are? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That feels a little level locked, right? Yeah.
I don't want to like overstep or anything. There's some kind of awkward like personal shit that I think we should deal with before we go on any more dangerous missions.
All right. What?
I understand holding on to chapters in your life that are over. Like, I get it. Like, I was trying to be a woman long after I had realized I was a man because I was scared of that new chapter. And, you know, Lucas, you've cut your connection to Petey, but you are still utilizing that magic in a way that seems detrimental and harmful to you and your health. And I don't know, man, like, I don't want to pressure you to give up something if you think it's still working for you, but I think from the outside looking in, we're kind of a little concerned about how you summon these creatures, and maybe it's time for you to find a new way to do that. Just close that chapter for good rather than hanging on to it.
I don't get what you mean. Like, this is how I do magic, and I need that magic to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but there's like other ways to do magic, man. Like, you don't have to do it that way. If that chapter is over for you, why not find a healthier way? And again, I'm not trying to put you on blast. It's just like, dude, it's fucking creepy and it seems bad. And I don't know, seems like it could be used against you. If we're dealing with creatures of temptation and like over gratification and whatnot, man. And Whistler,
least...
I don't know what your deal is, but like, I feel like ghosts have unfinished business, and I don't know. Maybe you're hanging on to a chapter in your life that you should move past too. I don't want to be ghostist, but that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the whole thing, right?
While we're on the topic of accepting new chapters in our lives, I think, Danny, it's time to recognize that you hunt things other than vampires now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Lucas. I don't want to be rude. I'm just worried about you.
I need this magic if I'm going to be able to help you guys.
I'm not telling you to stop using magic. I'm telling you to maybe find a better way to do it.
And I don't know that that's true, Lucas. I mean, there have been plenty of times you've been mighty helpful without even using an ounce of magic.
I disagree entirely.
Like, they're taking bits from you. They're taking pixelated bits out of you, and you don't know where they're doing with where they're going, what they're doing with that shit.
Where do you think the monsters are coming from?
Whose hands are those?
Yeah.
Whose hands are they, Lucas?
Let's find out.
What does that mean?
One of the questions that Cast the Bones will let me ask is who has touched this person, place, thing / creature before me?
Yeah,
what created those hands?
Okay. Man, I didn't know.
I'm gonna let me roll.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell everybody now? It's up to you. I'm happy to.
It's the real devil. It's biblical Satan.
It's so funny how close you are.
Oh, damn.
Mr. Mime.
You know what? No.
God damn it!
Because I have a theory.
Tickle my balls.
Matt, you told me.
I suggested.
Well, now you
and
know.
You never confirmed or denied.
Well, here you go.
Okay.
How dare you edge me like this?
Yeah.
Okay. If we're holding off, maybe you can tell me that the magic doesn't work, or Lucas decides to not do it out of some reason.
I let me roll to see if it works. doesn't matter. Can my webcam reach? Because that's a 3 on the dice, bringing
Oh.
it up to a 5. Anyway.
I'll help.
Oh, what does it look like when you start to try to divine this information?
I
Hand comes out and
can I
slaps.
suggest something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you go to cast the bones, and the hand reaches out of your phone and like stops it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, because the hands are, like, tiny. Like, each hand is, like, the size of a pinky, and they're all attached to these incredibly long arms, and I think, like, 100 of them come out and just, like, grab onto Lucas and drag him away from the spell.
And then when you can check your phone again, you've been DDoSed. You cannot access any of your magic.
Hey, Lucas, so like what I was saying is that seems bad.
I think I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt. You remember the like non-magical leader of the grove? His name's Jung.
Yeah.
Someone found this for you, and hands Lucas like a little envelope.
I open it.
There is on like kind of heavy cardstock with like gold filigree around the corners, and written in like a very fanciful gold ink. It says, "Young Lucas, what is more important, truth or happiness?" And I want to close out there.